right, Danny. So let's just jump right into it. Welcome back to another episode of The Lethal Library. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Dani.
And we're here to have Danny tell us another story of true crime in Idaho. Spoiler alert, I hear that this time it's a lady. So, underrepresented demographic getting the spotlight today.
Yes, ma'am. Parents will make a teenager's life uncomfortable. Sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah.
In a beautiful upscale home, someone thought she was a princess and could do what she wanted. She sounds like a spoiled fucking brat to me.
You know, they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Sources used today are articles from the Times News and that bitch, the Idaho Statesman.
Love her.
On October 2nd, 2003, in Bellevue, Idaho, at 6:25 in the morning, 16-year-old Sarah Johnson ran out of her house looking for help. She arrived at her neighbor's crying, and the neighbor called 911. She had awoken to 2 gunshot blasts, and when she called out to her parents, they didn't respond. Alan Johnson, age 46, and Diane Johnson, 52, were found shot in their home. Diane was found in her bed, and Alan was found on the bedroom floor. He had apparently been taking a shower when he was shot.
Yikes.
Both died from a single shot from a rifle. Police did not see any signs of forced entry to the home. 4 weeks after the murders, still no arrests have been made. Police know the murder weapon came from a guest house on the property.
Oh.
But the man who lived there was not even in town at the time of the murders. The authorities are trying to figure out who would have known where to find the guns.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Little sidestep. You remember the story on Denise Williams? Where the sheriff was like, didn't tell the coroner?
Yes.
Right? Remember? And then he had a different pathologist do all the stuff.
A mess.
Same thing here. The coroner, Russ Mickle, was not allowed to do the autopsies of the bodies. Blaine County Sheriff Walt Fleming would not allow it. Fleming removed the bodies and had them taken to a Boise pathologist. Which is not a good look, dude.
No, like, especially like you have your town or your county that
and
you're
it's a
in.
little town, and it's like, this is above your pay grade.
But yeah, like you could bring in someone for a second opinion or to assist, but that's a bad look if that's your job. And they're like, yeah, we don't trust you. We're going to get it to the real folks.
Do not even be looking at these bodies. Thank you.
Crazy.
On October 29th, the daughter of Alan and Diane was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder.
In church. Scandalous.
And she is held on a $2 million bond. 16-year-old Johnson had been staying with her aunt in the Caldwell area since the memorial. It took 57 days for an arrest, but the sheriff wanted to make sure all the evidence was processed correctly before making any arrests. Fair?
Yeah.
It was their 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, make sure all your ducks are in a row, because I wonder how that works, because you're not even supposed to be able to interview minors without their parents in most cases. But that's a whole nother bag of worms.
Yep.
Can of worms. Bag of worms?
I like it.
You don't want unexpected worms anywhere. Let's just say that.
But I feel like a bag of worms is way bigger than a can of worms.
So gross.
Blood was found on a glove that matched Johnson's DNA. The glove was found wrapped in a bathrobe that also had Diane's blood on it, her mother. Johnson had a bruised left shoulder that you'll see from a recoil of a rifle.
Yikes.
You know.
Especially if you're not a experienced person, that'll get you every time.
Well, yeah. How did authorities even start to suspect the daughter was the murderer? Just a few days before, Johnson had not returned home on the night of August 29th. She was found by her parents the following day at her boyfriend's house.
Uh-oh.
Bruno Santos was 19, and Alan and Diane were very upset that he was dating their 16-year-old daughter.
Understandably.
They planned to go to law enforcement for an investigation into statutory rape after the holiday weekend was over.
Yikes. They're like, just wait until this holiday weekend and we're going to see what the police have to say about this. Oh, no.
See?
Yeah.
Alan and Diane also took away Johnson's driving privileges, but she still attended volleyball practice the evening before the murders. So they're like, you're not driving anywhere, but you have to go to volleyball. Like, I can totally picture this scenario. Like, you're fucking grounded. Your life is over, but you have to go to volleyball practice.
Yeah. I think I've been there as a teenager and maybe even had to enforce stuff like that, which I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah. Sorry about shit. Life is miserable. Go cry to your friends at practice.
Well, and at least you still have an activity other than being home.
On the morning of the killings, Johnson went to the rental house on the property and removed a .264 caliber rifle.
Ooh.
Let me just tell you, I leaned into Dad for this. I called him during my research, and I'm like, am I saying it right?
Well, and I don't know.
Because I Googled it, and it said some people say it's a .264 or a .264. But my dad said it was a .264 caliber.
.264 caliber.
I'm going with Dad.
Thanks, Dad, because really, we're not the experts on that. We've been around guns. We don't know all the deets of everything.
I love my dad so much. So
I bet he was excited to chat about it.
Oh, no. He was very, and because I wanted to know how to say this, and I also wanted to know what size of bullet that would be.
Yeah.
Because I know what a 45 looks like, or a 30, like they're tinier. But I Googled the image of this size bullet, and it was like it's the longer one.
Ooh.
They're almost 3.5 inches long.
Is it like a hunting rifle?
Yeah, it's a hunting rifle.
Okay, I'm seeing the picture here.
And according to Dad, the .264 Winchester is a damn good hunting rifle.
All right. Got taste, I guess. Thank you, guest house man.
But yeah, Dad was so excited. He goes, well, you want to come over here? I'll show you one.
For your research, honey.
Do you want to set one on the desk, or
You want to hold it? Let's go shoot it. You can feel that recoil.
I got a whole book too. I can tell you all about it. He did show me, by the way, last night, his book and
Hell yeah.
all the little things about it.
Thanks
Anyway,
for coming in on the clutch. We needed a professional. Is what we needed.
thanks, Dad. The sheriff said Johnson was angry and defiant after her arrest. Oh, you pissed off teenager.
And getting arrested too. She's already been grounded. Clutch your pearls. Now she's in cuffs.
Johnson pleads not guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, and she's being tried as an adult.
Yikes.
She showed no emotion while in the courtroom. While waiting her trial, Johnson had some family visit, but not brother Matt, nor boyfriend Bruno.
Bruno, where are you at? You didn't want to come down to the courthouse since you're 19 and your 16-year-old girlfriend is there? You didn't want to come and check in?
Well, I think he was he was out of town.
He was busy that day.
He really was out of town.
I don't know what the date is for the court, but I'm busy that day.
Actually, he was out of the country for a little
Oh, shit.
So just hang on.
Indisposed.
Definitely indisposed. A gag order was issued by Judge James J. May. Judge May stressed that this was not for the media, but for the prosecution, defense, and the sheriff's department. Shut the fuck up.
Everyone shut your fucking mouths. Thank you.
Public defender Bob Pangburn was pissed about Sheriff Fleming's public comments about the case, in particular, the motive. Fleming explained to the media that Alan had a $450,000 life insurance policy. He's just like, let me just tell you what's going on here. This girl killed her parents for money and so she could be with her boyfriend. Like, he was just spilling all the juice.
That's not a good strategy for the prosecutor either.
Exactly.
You don't need to show all your cards.
And Fleming was, I'm going to tell you, he is all about publicity. So there's several episodes of like there's Snapped and a 2020 and a Dateline. I did not watch them. I was going to, but it's so dramatic. It's a different...
and it sometimes taints how you want to tell a story. So we might watch them after, and if we don't get stuff that the shows get, okay. But I know that Dani doesn't like to do that for her research, which I understand. And I don't want no
Dick Birds out there.
Yeah. Do you guys know about Dick Bird?
If not, look it up. It's a
Richard
something.
Bird.
Yeah, from Winnemucca.
Yes, and it happened on 9/11 of 2001, so no one had ever heard of him. And
go check it out.
Check out the podcasts about that, and
Yeah.
you'll understand why we don't want too many outside influences.
No, because it can go bad, and it has went bad for other podcasters. So
yeah,
just the facts, ma'am. And I read papers. So, but anyway, he was just spilling. They were spilling guts. They were,
and no point to it.
No. Beneficial Life Company asked the Fifth Judicial Court to withhold $225,000 of that death benefit of the claim, which was Johnson's portion of the policy, because it was split 50-50 between her and her brother. Matt already received his portion. So the Beneficial Life Company is like, if she's being accused of murdering her parents,
let's just take a pause on that. Sure, Matt, you're good to go. We're gonna wait on the other though.
Mm-hmm. Bruno Santos is deported to Mexico in September.
Oh no,
unavailable, but was quickly brought back so that he can testify in the case. So like, oh no, just wait, JK.
Actually, sorry. Can you just come back just for a quick bit, just a thank you.
Thanks. Sorry,
we
rushed to judgment and just said, "Oh, you're undocumented by." No, we actually need you.
Yeah,
so.
Maybe they should have had these ducks in a row. Because imagine how hard it is to get someone back for this reason. Are you kidding me?
Nesco's like, sure, because he did come back.
Well, thanks, Bruno.
The prosecution and the defense team are at each other's throats. They hate each other. Ooh. And you're gonna they are fighting.
The girls are fighting. This is like some reality TV shit.
The girls are fighting. The defense is asking why Johnson was transferred from Blaine County Jail to a Burley lockup for a week. And then Johnson was moved because she had told a fellow inmate incriminating facts about the murder. So like, you can't be with her. Attorney Bob Pingburn said Johnson had made no such statement. So this is all out in the public. They're like, she's made incriminating statements to a fellow inmate. And then Attorney Bob's like, no, she didn't. This is all just being puked out.
Yeah, this should not be being done in the press. This is all courtroom stuff. I mean, it's nice if you're following a case because you're like, I want to know. Of course, it's very juicy, but it doesn't really benefit anyone, like, as far as
it benefits us, but that's it.
Right, exactly.
In 2004, defense attorney Bob is asking for Johnson's statements that were made the day of the murder be inadmissible. He said Johnson was under the influence of a sleeping pill a neighbor had given her that morning because she was so overwhelmed.
Okay.
Prosecutor Thomas said she was probably tired because she was up all night planning her parents' murder.
You know, either or.
This is why they hated each other. This is all public comments. Like, what are they doing? Like, no, she's not tired from the sleeping pill. She was tired because she was up all night planning her parents' murders. Attorney Bob states that she was improperly questioned and ignored her rights to an attorney on September 3rd and September 12th. Sheriff Fleming said she agreed to speak without an attorney. Quote, she said she had an attorney, and she said he told her not to talk to us. I said she could have him here, but I asked her if she'd just like to clear this up and catch whoever did this, and she said yes.
Well,
in a motion filed in October, Attorney Bob said that Johnson is wrongly being kept in solitary confinement.
oh no.
And he has asked that she be immediately removed. So these are small counties, small jails over there. And even though she's being charged as an adult, she's still 16/17, right? So by law, they have to keep her away from other. It's some drama.
Yeah.
Johnson had been moved from Blaine County Jail to the mini Cascia Jail to make room for another defendant that was scheduled for a hearing. Mini Cascia does not have a separate facility to keep Johnson away from adult inmates, which is required by law. And this is why she was in solitary. That's how tiny this jail is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we have somebody else coming in for a hearing, so we got to move you. So Attorney Bob was pissed. He was chasing around
He was passed. Where's my client?
In November, Attorney Bob revealed in court proceedings that boyfriend Santos remains a suspect and has committed crimes recently.
Oh, Bruno Santos, what were you out here doing?
Well, he just got back. He's feeling good. In a separate hearing the same day, Santos was in front of a judge on charges of having controlled substances.
Oh gosh, this is not good.
You know, kind of part of me thinks that he was like, they want me here. Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I want.
Little vacation.
They're not going to deport me. They need
They
me
need
here.
me. Yeah.
Prosecutor Thomas asked for Santos to be held so he can testify in Johnson's trial. They're like, oh, okay, well, no more going back to your mama's apartment. You're on lockdown. Santos was facing charges resulting from 17 grams of meth police found in his possession on October 30th.
Yikes.
And I have no idea if that's a lot or not. Is
I
it?
think it's a lot.
Is 17 grams a lot?
I think it's a lot.
We can go weigh some flour on my scale.
Let's get out the kitchen scale. We need to see a visual on this.
Attorney Bob is asking to examine the gloves and the robe the prosecution was claiming that Johnson wore the night she murdered her parents. He said there's a vast difference between the evidence the defense is allowed to examine and what is allowed to be admitted as evidence. Johnson's aunt, Linda Vivold, hope I said that right, Linda, said during a hearing she suspected Johnson had committed the murders. Attorney Bob's asked her when she changed her mind, because at first Auntie Linda was like, oh, come live with me, I'll take care of you.
Poor thing.
But Linda said it was a gradual mind change for her. She had thought Santos committed the murders in earlier testimony. So she did not think it was her beautiful, bratty fucking niece. No. It was the 19-year-old boy.
Sure.
So we are now in 2005. In January 2005, 5th District Judge Barry Wood moved the trial to Boise, where an Ada County jury will hear the case. The trial is scheduled to start on February 7th and is expected to last 6 to 8 weeks.
Damn.
Biggin. And Attorney Bob is on it. He said it was unlikely to find an unbiased jury in Blaine County based on the results from a questionnaire sent to potential jurors in December. Like, no.
Yeah, we know all about this.
We want the Ada County jury. Thank you. That's why Koberger's down here, too.
Yeah.
Exact same reason. Blaine County Prosecutor Jim Thomas said he was down for the Ada County jurors, but he wanted the trial to stay in Blaine County. It's all about the money, money.
It is.
And this is because of all the trouble it'll cause. He will have to issue new subpoenas to appear in Boise for witnesses, plus lodging for not only the witnesses, but for all the county officials. And just to kind of give you an idea, Blaine County's population was around 21,000 people in 2003. And we don't have little counties here in Idaho. They're
Large.
They're large. And this was very prominent in their news. And
So everybody knew
yeah,
about this.
yeah, that's why those questionnaires are like, nope, this is
You're not going to find a
this
jury
isn't
pool.
looking good. And you don't want a mistrial because of that. But also, these little, like, they are doing tax levies to cover these kind of trials. It's a big deal. I'd be pissed. And it probably, I've never had that come across here. Probably be pissed if I had to pay an extra $125 because some asshole
Went and did a murder.
went and did a murder just to make sure they were convicted and off the streets.
Do not murder in our town.
Boom. The trial begins on February 8th. In opening statements, the prosecution showed a gruesome crime scene. Johnson's now 18, by the way. She growed up.
She's an adult now.
Prosecutor Thomas said, quote, "This case is not about an unknown killer. This case is about evidence left behind by Sarah Marie Johnson." He stated evidence will include a bullet impact in the bedroom shower stall, footprints in the grass, and inconsistent statements made by Johnson. A hunting rifle on the floor of the master bedroom was found with a crucifix on top of it that had fallen from the wall.
That's wild.
I seen the pictures. It's
Nuh-uh.
creepy.
And didn't you say that the parents were very religious?
Yeah, very religious. He also said a lot of evidence was in those trash cans that were scheduled to be picked up that morning.
They yanked him right back. Could you imagine if you were at the scene and you were the killer and seeing him yanked back like, shucks.
Damn it.
And I wouldn't have got away with it too if it wasn't for those pesky officers. You're just like, well,
Sorry.
not my pink robe.
Oh. Because as the garbage truck approached the home that morning, police grabbed the bins and pulled them behind the yellow police tape. Like,
Yoink.
the truck was coming. She's like, oh, come on.
Good thinking. I mean, because I could totally picture a whoopsie happening. I'm sure something like that's happened before where they're like, you didn't see the trash cans out front? That they're already on the way to the landfill.
Sorry.
Good luck.
Smoke. I think they might have found some shit, but
You
not as
probably
good.
could have, yeah.
But not as good of, because also found in the trash can was a blood-spattered pink robe. Wrapped inside of that robe were bullet casings. Oopie. Also found in the trash cans were pregnancy tests.
This is getting really...
Evidence. Yeah. Well, she's a stupid 16-year-old that thinks they know everything.
Yeah.
Thomas said that this was proof that Johnson and Santos had a sexual relationship that her parents didn't approve of. Obviously, if she thought she was pregnant,
Such a weird thing that she wrapped the bullet casings in the robe and put them there, but left the gun. What's the point?
Well, because she was wearing those fucking gloves, sis.
I'm going to get away with it. I got these rubber gloves just for the occasion.
Nobody's going to catch me.
I saw this is how they do it in the movies.
She's got gloves.
Pick up the casings, leave the gun.
Prosecutor Thomas said that Johnson was livid that her parents wanted to turn Santos in to the authorities for statutory rape. Quote, "We don't have to prove motive. We know Sarah was dating a 19-year-old Bruno Santos. She was 16. She was obsessed with him. It was a very heavy, very sexual relationship. Alan and Diane did not approve of this relationship. They wanted it stopped." Thomas also claimed that Johnson tried to pin the murders on a disgruntled cleaning lady.
How rude.
Such a fucking brat, dude. He said Santos came back to Idaho after being deported to Mexico to testify. Quote, he provided us access to his home, his car, his DNA.
He said, here you go.
Wasn't me. Literally, wasn't me. He's like, this crazy bitch. It wasn't me.
Search my
like,
car.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I wasn't signing up for this kind of
No.
crazy. Like, you sneaking out and coming and hanging out with me over the weekend? Cool that. Murder? No.
Yeah, not into it.
I really don't believe he knew anything. I think she was just...
It was a sweet little surprise she had for him.
Guess what? My parents are dead,
We're
so now
free.
we can date and do whatever. And oh, by the way, got life insurance, so we're set.
Yikes.
I don't think he was up for this at all. No.
He's like, I didn't know we were at that stage in our relationship. Wow.
Oh, does this mean we're committed?
Oh, I thought we were just dating.
No, I thought you were my little side piece, right?
He's like, oh, I did not know you were that serious.
Okay.
Noted.
Wow.
Yikes.
Johnson burst into tears twice on the first day of the trial. Oh, because you got caught. No. Once when the prosecutor was describing the bedroom scene, and again when they played the 911 call made by the neighbor. Let's hear some testimony
From Miss Sarah?
No,
Not yet.
we're going to be talking about some neighbors here. Okay. Lots of neighbors are going to come up. Every neighbor I feel like they called up. Did you hear anything? Right? Neighbor Kim Richards and testified that Johnson came running over to her house that morning. Quote, she was screaming. She said someone shot her dad. Someone shot her parents. Johnson had told Kim that she heard shots, but didn't say she saw someone shoot her parents or see their bodies. According to the neighbor, Johnson assumed they had been shot after hearing the gunshots because they didn't answer when she called for them a couple of times. Kim said it didn't look like Johnson had just gotten out of bed either. Her clothes weren't wrinkled and her hair was not messy.
She'd been up all night preparing.
Well, when I read it in the paper, it said, and her hair wasn't askew. I'm like, I can't use that word. It's not in my vocab. Kim's husband, Timothy, also testified. And this is such Idaho dude, right? Like, said, yeah, when I went over to the house, check on the couple. Like, excuse me, say what?
Just walks right in.
He's like, oh.
Howdy, neighbors.
There's gunshots? I'm going to go check that out. Not me.
No.
I'm calling the police and waiting for the police. Thank
I'm
you.
not nowhere near there.
When he went to the house to check on the couple, quote, there was an odor. It was sour. There were debris, pieces of hair, skin, a sogginess under my feet.
Oh, no.
From the visual I saw, I knew something was terribly wrong.
Yeah. That was very descriptive.
It was. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to go check it out. You stay here, hun. Call the cops. I'm going to go over and check it out, okay? No. Jared would do that.
Probably.
Rick.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. I'm like, no, don't go. Can you just stay?
Hey, Johnsons. You home?
What's going on in here? Oh, shit. No, I would not be going. On day 2 of the trial, Johnson is breaking down again. Uncontrollable sobbing caused Judge Wood to order a 20-minute break so she could compose herself. Bellevue Marshal Trimble testified that the crime scene took him aback when he saw the bodies and the large amount of blood. Quote, there was quite a bit of carnage, he stated. The marshal said he found Alan Johnson lying face down on the floor, still wet from taking a shower. Diane was in bed under the covers, just as if a person was sleeping. On cross-examination, the marshal was asked if he saw a bullet hole in the quilt over Diane. His response, quote, no, I did not see a hole. My concentration was on what I was going to find underneath.
He's like, yeah, no, I wasn't looking for that.
No. There's blood everywhere.
I just got here, bro.
He also went through several pieces of evidence, one of them being that the clothing that Johnson was wearing the morning of the murders. When he asked if he had noticed any blood on the clothing that morning, he said no. Marshall Trimble also told the investigators about the how he found the latex glove, a brown left-handed glove,
Oh my gosh.
and 5 bullets wrapped up in a pink bathroom in the trash can in the front of the house. Bitch couldn't even be bothered to find a matching pair of gloves.
She's like, this winter glove and a latex glove?
Done.
That'll do. Maybe she was trying the double glove and they didn't find the other ones. Who knows?
I just find that odd.
It is odd.
Oh, she probably found that one, the real glove, not the latex glove, probably in like their missing mittens. Like
Right.
We all have the missing sock drawer / thing.
Eh.
Okay.
right.
But there was no missing left-handed one. So then she's like, fuck. Fine, I guess I'll go to cleaning or get a latex gloves. Cleaning room. A police officer from the Haley Police Department testified that he was searching the backyard when he noticed footprints in the lawn leading from the house to an area near some shrubs. So, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You step on it, you leave footprints. And this is the perfect time of year, September.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's getting cool enough at night to produce that dew.
And then it's like having a little bit of snow on the
Yeah,
ground.
you can totally see. By the shrubs, several footprints were found that appeared to be someone standing in the same place. So he watched these little footprints, and then there was like a tamp down area of somebody pacing back and forth, shuffling their feet. From that area, you could look into the master bedroom.
Interesting.
And she was like, are you guys going to fucking go to bed already?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I have the balls to do this?
Probably both.
Either way, you're a dick.
Yeah.
The officer also stated that when he spoke with Johnson that morning, she said she had been asleep for several hours when she was awakened by the sound of a gunshot. She wasn't sure if it was real or if she was dreaming, so she went back to sleep. I'm
Okay.
getting up. I'm getting up. I'm getting up.
With that loud of a gunshot.
She heard a second gunshot and then went to her parents' room door. She called out for her mother but got no reply. Johnson told him she heard the shower running in the master bedroom and she was afraid. So she went running out of the house, and that's when she heard a body falling and a screen door closing at the same time.
At the same time.
Bionic fucking hearing.
You just know that you don't know if it's a gunshot or not, but you know the sound of a body falling and the screen door happening
At the same time.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, are you fucking... That's what she said? Okay. The officer said Johnson was crying that morning, but never asked if her parents were okay. This is a dead giveaway sign.
Mm-hmm.
This dead giveaway.
Because maybe you know?
What's really going on? Like, oh.
I was too scared to go in there and see what was going on, but I don't want to ask anyone that's been in there what's going on.
Sorry, if somebody you lived with you got shot, you heard a gunshot, didn't respond, and you went running out of the house to call the police saying somebody shot, wouldn't your first question after the police came, after they were at the house, would be like,
What's
what
going
happened?
on? Yeah.
What happened?
Are they okay?
What's going on? Are they okay? No, she didn't because she knew they were dead because she shot them.
She didn't plan out the whole acting part far out enough in advance.
That's that development of
Right.
the brain.
Frontal lobe.
On day 3, again, Johnson is crying after seeing a bloody crime scene photo. Judge Wood warned her to stop because she was becoming disruptive. He said the moaning, crying, and nose blowing would have to stop so the trial could be conducted in a manner that is not disruptive.
Told her.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
He said, "Yeah, we've had enough. Pull it together."
You did this. Attorney Bob asked if Johnson could be removed from the courtroom when gruesome evidence was shown, and the judge allowed this. Probably just to save time.
Yeah, like, can we just stop this whole runaround?
Okay, we're showing another crime scene photo where you shot your fucking parents.
Get her out.
You want to leave? Okay. Pictures and evidence showed blood spatters and brain matter on the carpet, walls, and ceilings. This
Yikes.
was a brutal. This is a little bit more descriptive than we get.
Yeah.
But it was a big part of the court case.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to show how brutal this was. And because I think that you're looking at a child, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And a rifle, though.
Yeah.
Close range. That will mess you up.
Yeah, it was a lot. Detective Steve Harkins testified when he spoke to Johnson that morning, he did not consider her a suspect. But after learning of the evidence being collected, he returned to speak to her again. This time as a suspect.
It's like, hey, about that. You ever seen a pink robe before?
Have you?
Whose could that be?
Pregnancy test? What's going on here? Harkins said he read Johnson her rights and asked her if she understood. Quote, she understood her rights and never said she wanted to speak to a lawyer.
There you go.
Harkins was asking Johnson about the pink bathrobe and if she had ever worn latex gloves. And she goes, yeah, when I was younger.
Back when I was a kid.
Duh. I mean, I wore latex gloves all the time when I was younger.
Who doesn't?
No. That's such a... I'm sorry.
She's like, maybe at some point in my life, yeah, I did do that from back in the day.
Because, I clean. What?
She was blaming shit on the maid. She ain't cleaning anything.
No, she's not. He then asked her if she had thrown anything away lately. And she responded, she, quote, would never kill her parents.
Logical answer. I'm surprised she didn't come back with I've thrown things away before, like back in the day. I've thrown something away before, sure.
I mean, this is my second bloody pink robe I've thrown away.
Right.
What's the big deal? Detective Harkins asked her about the bullets found in her bedroom, and she told him she wasn't involved. And then became upset and said she hated guns more than anything.
Oh, okay.
I feel like this kind of the upset she got was getting busted upset. We've all seen that in kids.
Oh, yeah. I hate guns. How dare you?
I hate coloring crayons. I would never color on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
The detective said Johnson had tried to shift suspicion to the family's cleaning lady.
Rude.
She said the woman had taken things from her home and her mother was about to file a police report.
Convenient.
Very. Johnson also told authorities that she was having issues with her parents after they caught her staying at her boyfriend's house. Detective Harkins said that he has personally spoke with Bruno Santos more than 100 times. Santos has been a person of interest since the beginning of the investigation. On cross-examination, Attorney Bob is really pushing for Santos to be like an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
He asked if Harkin was aware of Santos' drug use and gang connection. Harkin's response was they had looked into Santos pretty extensively and that he had no information that Santos was in a gang. He said Santos worked at the Burger Grill in Ketchum and doesn't have a fancy car. This mentality back then, like if you're a drug dealer, gotta have a fancy car.
Yeah, he doesn't have a private plane.
When Attorney Bob asked about the tattoo of the letters BS on Santos' hands, Harkins replied he thought it stood for Bruno Santos.
I mean,
It's not a gang.
It tracks.
He was trying to get him affiliated with a gang. It's like the detective's like, no, it's his initials, dumbass.
Dumbass.
Taking the dog, dumbass. Harkins testified that Johnson herself said The Santos was not known to be violent, and she didn't believe that he was involved in the crime.
Oh, even saving the boyfriend,
Right.
not the maid, but the
No.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
They're going to run away together.
Married forever, true love. XOXO. Glenn Groban, a forensic pathologist with Ada County, testified Allen had been shot through the left chest and that the bullet had exited through his back. He said that type of injury would not immediately incapacitate him. He thought Allen was able to live long enough to walk from the shower where he was shot into the bedroom before bleeding to death.
Oh, God.
Because there was only 2 bullets fired. And they found a bullet hole in the shower. He was in the shower.
That's nasty work.
But he got out like, oh my God, I'm shot.
Yeah.
He got out and walked to the bedroom. He was found next to the bed where Diane was already dead. I wonder if he heard that first shot and was like getting
ready to get out anyway.
Have you ever been in the shower and like heard something and you're like pull it back and like listen?
Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. And then,
I bet it was scary. It was probably so loud.
Yeah. And then Diane's autopsy showed she died of a massive head injury caused by a gunshot.
Yeah.
The jurors are bused from Ada County to Blaine County for a visit to the Johnson home.
Oh, wow. Quite the field trip.
I'd be pissed. Don't put me on a bus for 5 hours. Like, can we just take cars?
Could you do a video? Can you show me a video?
And they were taken in 2 different groups by the bailiff. And they walked through the house and everybody was there. The attorneys, the judge, but they all just stood outside and they could walk through and actually see. And for context, because there's going to be some more testimony, I can understand it. Nearly a dozen neighbors testified about what they heard or seen the morning of the murders. This is what I was
They
telling.
were all chit-chatting.
One said they heard rifle shots around 6:20 and then heard screams. Another testified she woke up to her dog growling and staring out of a window, and then she heard a scream. Look, I love my dogs. Like, I'm down. If I'm laying in bed and my dog barks at night, it sketches me out because they're hearing something. Dorothy Chanella,
Sounds nice.
who lived next door, testified that Johnson had stayed with her in 2003 when Allen and Diane were out of town. She said Johnson told her how difficult it was to live with her mother. Quote, Sarah said she absolutely couldn't stand her mother.
Typical.
Yeah, you're 16. Dorothy also described a day back in the summer of 2003 when she heard Diane weeping on the back patio. Diane was saying, "It's always all my fault. Everything that goes wrong is always my fault." She then heard Johnson screaming inside the house and Allen telling her to go out and apologize to her mother.
Yikes. So the neighbors knew things were...
Brat. Yeah. Brat. Prosecutors asked the neighbors if they heard any voices, noises, cars, dogs barking between the hours of 2 and 2:30 a.m. that morning. Why? Johnson had told investigators that her whole family had been woke up at that time after they heard voices in the backyard. Johnson said Diane said one of the voices sounded like the family's cleaning lady.
Oh, of course.
Gonna drag her back into this, don't you? You little fucking bitch. I'm sorry.
The planning was not there.
Sheriff Fleming testified that the crime was not so well planned and a lot of evidence was left. You nailed it.
Oopsie. Yeah.
He said there was even staged evidence.
Oh.
This is bizarro. 2 large kitchen knives were found blade to blade at the foot of Allen and Diane's bed.
Okay.
I saw these pictures. It was the weirdest fucking thing. It's like 2
Like
knives.
pointing at each other?
Yeah. It was... The boyfriend, Bruno Santos, took the stand. Santos said Johnson was his girlfriend of about 3 months.
This has escalated way too fast.
He's like, bitch, we're just hanging out and fucking. Don't go out to kill about it. Prosecutor Thomas asked him about the night Alan came looking for Johnson.
Oh.
Yeah. Santos said Alan threatened him. Duh. Quote, he told me if I didn't leave his daughter alone, he would hit me and put me in jail. And
Very upfront about it.
The English is not his first language. And there was an interpreter for a lot of this. So that's why it sounded so...
Does Sarah speak Spanish? What's really happening here?
I think
she's like, I'm in Spanish
English,
1.
But still, it was probably just from that response, because that was a quote. I feel like it was broken English.
Sure.
And so I just wanted to say, like, I don't want him to sound like he's not intelligent or anything. That's why I said that, because it was very direct and simple.
Yeah.
But
hit me and I'm going to jail.
Yeah. He said he saw Johnson at a volleyball game the following Monday, and she was acting a little weird. Johnson told him her parents had grounded her because of the incident. Duh. Santos said he found out about the murders from his cousin, and he went to Johnson's house. Quote, when I got there, and an officer asked who I was, and I said I was Sarah's boyfriend. They told me to get out of the car, and they arrested me.
Wow, immediate.
Can't
be a 19-year-old.
And plus, I bet by the time he showed up, that they already knew.
They saw the robe.
Yeah, something was fishy.
They're like, yeah, why don't you come with us too?
Yeah.
Glad you showed up. Thanks for stopping by.
The man who was renting the small house on the property testified. Mills Spiegel said he had a collection of guns and some ammunition stored in a closet, and it was covered with clothing. Quote, so if anyone was looking in the closet, they wouldn't notice them.
Not if you're a snoopy teenager.
Exactly. He also said no one outside of the Johnsons family knew where his guns were. One of Mills' guns, a .264 Magnum deer rifle, was the murder weapon. The housekeeper, Janet Silton, this is so sad. So you've talked about the housekeeper several times. She testified. She had cleaned the Johnsons' home on August 26th. And this was a referral from either a cousin or an aunt, like I got this cleaning lady kind of thing.
Sure.
So that's how she got the gig. She said she had not stolen anything from the home. But defense attorney Rader, who's another defense attorney, was trying to put doubt into the jury. During her cross-examination, Janet was questioned about her 2 felony convictions in 1998, grand theft auto, and assault and battery on a correctional officer. Janet had served 5 years in prison and just been released in 2003.
Yikes. So she knows it's not looking good. I mean, there's so much evidence, it's not a huge deal. But when you have someone pointing the finger at you and you just got out of jail, you're like, great.
Fuck my life. I would
This
seriously.
little 16-year-old girl.
She's like, Janet was also asked about her history of drug use. The prosecution did not question her. What do they call it?
Redirect.
Thank you. Because she was a mess. She was so upset. She left the stand in tears. Because she is like, I've got to, yes, I did
I'm trying to do stuff the right way.
And this little fucking brat drags me into this, saying that I stole, and you're asking me all about my past. Because it's hard. Like, if you're trying to, you don't want to present yourself as, you don't walk up and be like, hi, I was in jail for 5 years. Like, you don't do that. She worked anyway. I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
I did. A fingerprint analyst said she could not recover any identifiable fingerprints from the murder weapon. The boxes of ammunition or the 2 large knives that were found.
She had those mismatched gloves.
Exactly. And the defense is clinging on this.
Oh, I bet. They're one strand of hope.
There's actually another
2.
one.
Okay.
7. Megan Sowersby, a lifelong friend of Johnson's, testified that Johnson was more worried about her boyfriend than her parents in the 2 days following the murder.
That doesn't look good.
How'd that go for you, bestie? A DNA expert testified Johnson's DNA was found on a right-handed latex glove, a left-handed leather glove, and the pink bathrobe.
So it's your robe, honey, your gloves.
The blood on the bathrobe matched Diane's. They also had gun residue on them.
Shocker.
Cha-chink. Diane's sister, Linda, testified about the weekend of the murders. She said her and her husband came to spend the Labor Day weekend with them in Bellevue. And they were there for all that drama with Santos.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Linda stated Diane said she thought it was inappropriate a 19-year-old dropout dating Sarah. Because these guys were, they had money. And she also told Linda that she had planned on talking with the marshal on Tuesday about filing statutory rape charges against Santos because it was a holiday weekend.
She's like, yeah, I don't want to bother him on Labor Day. We'll get to it after the holiday.
Probably nobody was working.
Right.
That was the last conversation Linda had with her sister.
Oh, gosh.
That pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our last conversation was talking about what a miserable shit your daughter was, and then she murdered you.
Right.
Ugh. Johnson went to live with Linda after the murders. Linda said Johnson's behavior was inappropriate. Quote, we would be talking about Ellen and Diane, and she would be upset and roll her eyes and act disgusted.
Oh.
Like, don't bother me with your fucking drama. Quote, during the service for Ellen and Diane, Johnson asked to attend a volleyball game later that evening.
Okay. Sis, you're not doing very well here. You're not playing the part very well.
Shantae Cottle, another friend of Johnson, said Johnson came to volleyball practice the day after the shootings and showed her 2 rings. Johnson told her she and Santos were engaged and that she was having sex with him. Scandalous.
Very scandalous. And also, why did you have both rings? Are you sure you're engaged? Does he know that you're engaged? Does he have any idea what's going on?
Because I just think you were like, yeah.
This is wild.
Quote, Sarah told us that she and her brother would be taken care of the rest of their life when someone asked about an inheritance. Lorna Kolash, Johnson's godmother, testified Johnson seemed detached and concerned about herself after the murders. Quote, she was more concerned about getting her nails and her hair done. Sarah got upset that investigators had cut her thumbnail off for evidence.
How dare they? Prom's coming up.
Oh my God.
Well, and I think that you said a little earlier that someone asked her like about inheritance and she's like, oh, me and my brother will be taken care of for life. If it's the day after my parents were killed and you ask me like, are you getting like an inheritance or something? I think that your normal reaction would be to be incredibly offended.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, like why would you ask me that?
No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm so good.
No, we're gonna be just fine, don't you worry. So strange.
Remember the cellmate?
Mm-hmm.
She's here. This bitch don't give a fuck, and I like her.
Let's hear it.
I just will have to tell you, and when I was doing my research, they said her profanity-laced testimony. So
Love it.
of course, I didn't reprint that in the newspapers, but just imagine her getting a little creative with some of her
a
words.
gal after our own hearts.
Exactly. I actually do cuss a little. Melinda Gonzalez was jailed on drug charges and shared a cell with Johnson for months after her arrest. Melinda testified Johnson called her mother vulgar names, I'm sure she said exactly what names in
Yeah.
court. This is
She's under oath. She
Yeah.
has a duty.
Yeah. And often said she would go into knockdown, drag out fights with her mother. She said Johnson had pinned the murder on her brother, fucking poor brother, whom she accused of taking money from the family. Quote, I would ask her questions over and over and over again. One time we were talking and she said, when the killers killed my parents.
Oops.
Melinda had your number, bitch. She knew you were a snaky.
She's like, what else can I get out of this girl? Because I'm about to get some years off my sentence.
Melinda was not impressed with the defense team. She often sneered and pushed back on cross-examination.
Get it, girl.
When attorney Bob asked if she received anything in exchange for testimony, she laughed. He asked her, this is a joke to you, isn't it? And Melinda responded, quote, Pingburn, it's not a joke. You're the joke to me. It's not about compensation for me.
Actually, you're the joke here.
I love her.
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Fuck, I love it.
It's just fucking... Actually, you're the fucking joke.
Let the record reflect.
Since talking with authorities, Melinda has been attacked twice, which sucks. She's known as a narc now. She had hot coffee thrown in her face, and another inmate hit her. When she asked why she was doing this, she said, quote, my parents are important to me, and I can't be with my parents. I don't want anything to happen to them. That's why I came here today.
Tell him.
She's probably the toughest bitch people meet in their entire... She's probably in there on like some drug charges or something. And she's like, I am not that person. Like,
Yeah.
And I just feel like Johnson is probably waiting.
I'm just a baby.
Get the baby. Prosecutors presented the sheets as evidence. Okay.
Oof.
Trigger warning.
I bet.
When they spread out the blood-covered sheets, body pieces fell to the floor.
Oh, no.
The trial was halted for 2 hours so the courtroom could be cleaned. Because once it dries...
Oh, this was live in front of the jury?
Yes! And then they opened up the sheets and the little...
Chunks.
Thank you. You said it, not me. Yes.
That's all I can picture
Yeah.
because a rifle will just like,
Yeah.
it's like a little bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, how terrorizing for everyone.
That is... Yeah.
Ooh, hearing it. Ooh.
Testimony was presented that Johnson had put the robe on backwards and shot her parents approximately 20 feet away.
Smart. Genius. Got a high IQ killer here.
And I'm just going to go put it in the trash can. It's all gone. Bye.
Bye.
The last prosecution witness was Matt Johnson, the brother. Matt testified that Johnson and her mother did not get along. Quote, it was fairly rocky. There was constant fighting, bickering back and forth. She seemed to get along well with my father. Obviously, it wasn't hard for her to fucking shoot him.
Yeah. Got rid of him too real quick.
Matt asked his sister if her door was shut when she heard the shots, and she had told him yes. But blood spatter and brain matter were found in her room more than 20 feet away.
Holy shit.
Yeah. She always said, like, the door was shut. Like, I went and knocked on the door and nobody answered me. Like, I went up. No, there was literally blood and brain matter in her fucking room. You didn't think that one out, did you, Sarah?
No.
You didn't think about that one.
It's like she watched one murder mystery and was like,
That's exactly what she did.
easy enough.
Matt also testified that his parents, quote, did anything for her, always trying to make her happy. She was a spoiled fucking brat who was high maintenance. Oh, I can't get my way. I'm going to kill about it.
And in that brutal of a manner is wild.
FYI, Matt and Johnson are half siblings. Alan had adopted Matt at a very young age.
Okay.
So, oh my God, I'd fucking be so mad at my sister.
Yeah.
I would be like, can I throat punch you right now?
Yeah.
And then I'm never fucking looking at you. You are dead to me.
You don't exist.
The defense team asked to enter evidence of a coconut being shot with a rifle to demonstrate the blood splatter from Diane's head injury.
Oh my God.
They filled the coconut with half and half cream that had been colored with red and blue food coloring to represent blood and other body material. Judge said, nope.
Why would the defense want this?
I don't. There was a reason behind.
We want to show you just how brutal it is. What?
The judge.
Can we shoot some food coloring in this and just blast it off? Let's go
show
outside.
I don't know what their
the
motive was
fuck is
behind
going
it. I was just
on?
like, are you fucking kidding me? The judge said, quote, quite clearly, it does not represent what happened.
Yeah.
No coconuts were shot in this crime.
What in the world? That is just baffling me. I can picture the judge being like, you want to do what? Yeah, we're going to pass on that. Thanks for the suggestion. You're weird.
You're weird. You're cool.
I'm out.
The defense team brought in a psychologist to testify about Johnson's behavior after the murders, justifying a lot of behaviors with trying to keep some normalcy after a tragic event, like going to volleyball practice, right?
Kids just want to be kids.
They just want to have some normalcy after they shoot their parents. Volleyball, can't miss volleyball.
Yeah, hello.
The defense also pointed out that the comforter that was over Diane was thrown out.
That is a bit of a, yeah. Shouldn't have done that. Why would you do that? That was dumb.
It's like throwing away a bullet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it wasn't found near the body. Chuck it.
Yeah, throw that shit away.
Is that Charbonneau?
I think it was,
Okay.
yeah.
The defense called forensic scientist Michael Howard. He testified he had initially developed 3 hypotheses of what could have possibly happened to the crime scene. Here's his hypothesis.
Okay.
It was a murder-suicide where Alan killed Diane before turning the gun on himself. Another one is that Johnson pulled the trigger. And the third hypothesis, another person committed the murder.
I mean, this is a forensic scientist. Yeah, obviously those all could have happened if you didn't know anything else.
But he is going to exclude one of those hypotheses.
Oh,
Jesus.
which one?
He testified Johnson, quote, could have not been the person that pulled the trigger in this scenario.
Do tell.
He said the amount of blood produced from the gunshots could not be avoided and would have been on Johnson. No blood was found on her.
She had the backwards robe, though. She couldn't have done a quick face wash and...
And then it has to be, I think it was a Forensic Files episode. I didn't really watch it because I was like, like I had more information. Like it was just like being dramatic. But it was suspected that she had a shower cap on and flushed it down the toilet.
Not a bad idea.
But she had no blood on her. Maybe she wrapped her head in foil. Who fucking knows?
She's in there with a grocery bag over her head. Little hole for breathing.
Attorney Bob had a catchphrase that he repeatedly used during the trial.
Lawyers love this shit.
Dude, this is not an OJ trial.
Right.
It is So it's not, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's catchy.
Yeah.
Attorney Bob, no blood, no guilt.
You tried it. I mean, that was a very poor attempt at if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. No blood, no guilt. It doesn't even rhyme.
It doesn't.
Everybody's so creative. Not him.
Attorney Bob, dude.
And he just keeps saying that. I bet the jury was like,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're trying way too hard, bro. This is not, you're not going to be on every news station in the country. You give it up.
No blood, no guilt.
No blood, no guilt.
You have to admit, though, that whole, but the glove doesn't fit. You must acquit. Like,
because then the juries are like, them's the rules.
pretty catchy.
Them's the
too.
rules.
Pretty catchy. I mean, I'm saying it 30 years later.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking catchy. Good job. I can't remember who said that.
Me either.
Cochran?
There you go.
Cochran.
Smarty Pants Danny.
It's been sticking with me for a minute. Another forensic scientist testified for the defense, stating unknown male DNA was found on the rifle, ammunition, the robe, and both gloves. Johnson didn't testify, and the case is handed over to the jury.
I see. Okay.
There were 78 witnesses that were called in the 3-week trial.
Damn.
Those neighbors were neighboring.
Yes, they were. They all wanted to tell their story.
And I feel like this is a magic number. After only 10 hours of deliberation, the jury came back with a guilty verdict.
Fair number. They did consider things, sounds like.
They had a lunch or two.
They talked about the no blood, no guilt.
What about that robe? She literally put that robe on fucking backwards and shot her parents. Attorney Bob is on it. He says he is planning on appealing. Duh, Bob.
Obviously.
He has filed motions with the court for a mistrial, saying the jury mingled with the Johnsons' relatives. They had been
Mingling.
seen together in the same restroom and hallways.
Not the mingling.
Bob also filed a motion to dismiss the gun enhancement charge from the conviction, stating that Johnson was never arraigned on the charge.
Okay.
And he filed a motion for a judgment of acquittal based on insufficient evidence. It's a stretch. Bob.
A little bit of a stretch, but you got to do your duty.
Quote, there was never any evidence presented in this trial to show Sarah's finger was on the trigger, so no jury can convict her of it. Bob, did you miss the glove part? Did you miss the glove?
Well, and yes, they certainly can. They can convict without a body, Bob. You can't just be making up rules here.
The gloves.
Hello?
Why? While awaiting the sentencing, Brother Matt gets the family home ready to sell. He's a young man. I want to say, I think he's like 23, 24. He's a young man. Can you imagine your dirtball fucking half-sister shoots your parents that you love and adore while you're off at college trying to make something of yourself, and now you got to go fucking clean up all that shit?
And deal with the estate,
Yeah.
just all of that stuff.
all of it. And to
Yeah.
clean out your childhood home.
That's covered in debris and blood and
Matter.
yeah.
Attorney Bob is pissed. Johnson is being moved from the Blaine County jail to the Minnetonka jail, and she hasn't had any access to her team since her conviction. Wow. Johnson has been moved 3 times in 3 weeks, and her attorneys were not informed.
Oh,
The Blaine County Sheriff said, hey, he's trying to find a good spot for her. They moved Johnson from the Blaine County jail because they did not want her to be alongside Melinda,
oh, right.
and who don't give a fuck.
She's like, yeah, put us in a cell together
Yeah,
again.
let's go. Or in the same facility that Santos is in, because Santos is still in jail.
We got limited options here, folks.
Johnson was then moved to the Madison County Jail and then back to Blaine County. So they're just trying to find a spot for her. And I'm going to tell you, these counties probably did not have a lot of women facilities. So, it's like, we got 2 cells for 4 women. And, oh, fuck, we have 6. That's what's happening here.
Well, and you get to go on a little field trip, Sarah. So,
Quit crying.
yeah.
I don't think Sarah... Well, actually, I think Sarah was crying about it. Now that I remember my story. In May, a hearing is held. Attorney Bob is asking for that acquittal. Judge Wood said evidence linking Johnson to her parents' murder was as strong as, quote, a 40-acre field of garlic in full bloom.
Oh. See, now that's creativity. That I can appreciate.
If you would have had a slogan like that, Bob.
Yeah. Come on.
Never heard that before. And I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
It's as strong as a 40-acre field of garlic in bloom.
Full bloom, baby.
I can smell it actually right now.
Just thinking about it. Poor Bob.
The defense team also told the judge that Johnson was not mature enough to testify, and so that's why they didn't have her up on the stand.
Okay.
She was mature enough to be telling everybody she'd be fucking and getting lots of money.
And I'm sorry, kids testify all the time, like young kids. So if you're saying that, oh, if she would have testified, it would have changed this case, but she just wasn't mature enough yet, how is that even an argument? She wasn't ready.
She's not ready.
It would have been
ready. Ask Santos. She was ready.
She had the rings.
The claim that jurors were mingling with family members was settled when each of the jurors signed an affidavit stating that there was no inappropriate contact between the groups.
They're like, yeah, no.
Go fuck yourself, Bob. Letters from Johnson to a friend, Nisha, give some insight to her while she's in jail.
Okay.
She wrote things like, quote, if I could be put in one place and left alone, I would start to do my GED, since all I have now is time. And, quote, it's been really stressful and my belly can't handle it for much longer. I can't believe that I'm still having to deal with all this crap. I'm in total shock.
I can't believe I'm still having to deal with all this crap.
This murder thing? Fuck.
So over it.
Her friend said that every time she had to be moved, she had to leave everything behind, like her Bible, her books, her underwear, her bra, her long johns that she wore to keep warm. Valid, I know. Sure. That's how that's a valid. It's like
you don't have anything, and then
the little bit you have, they take away.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they let her move it though?
I know, especially like the Bible and stuff.
Yeah. Nisha said that Johnson misses her dad terribly. What, fuck your mother? What?
Guess so.
She talks about both parents with fond memories. She talks about trips that they took and the holidays. It's very painful for her to talk about them. I bet.
I bet that would be painful.
Ouch. At the sentencing hearing, Brother Matt testified again. Oh my God, this poor kid. Quote, I think some honesty needs to come out of you, and you need to plead to the court for some forgiveness. One of the ugliest and most horrifying things I've ever had to do when we sold the house is to go through and clean up blood and tissue and hair so someone else could buy it and not be horrified.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine having to do that.
Matt also said, quote, of all the things I miss their hugs, their bear hugs. I lost the 2 best friends I ever had. He then turned to the judge and said, quote, Judge, I would like to see the maximum sentence because after tomorrow, I don't want to have to hear about her or this event again. I feel she has no remorse and feel she would do it again, except that she would do it with better planning and she would try to get away with it.
I'd agree with that 100%.
It's like she's a evil, conniving bitch. Judge.
She just sucked at murdering. It was her first time.
Judge Wood sentenced Johnson to 2 life terms without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 15 years for the use of a firearm in the commission of the murders. Sorry, Bob. Not getting that one squashed.
Didn't even get that one, Bob.
Judge Wood said, quote, "It escapes me. You could have said, 'My God, what did I do? I'm out of here.' But that didn't happen. You proceeded further."
Mm-hmm.
Referring to the moment after she shot her mother. Quote, "It's undeniable you had to look at him in the eyes when you shot him. And you shot him in the lungs. He had no chance of survival." He told Johnson that if it weren't for her young age, she would have been sentenced to death. Quote, "If this was a death penalty case, you would be a candidate for it."
Tell her.
Get it, Judge. Johnson read a statement to the court. Quote, "I love my parents and I love my family. I am deeply grieving the loss of my parents as well as the loss of my family, my home, my friends, and my community. I am thankful for the love and support of my adoptive family. With the guidance of the Lord and the continued love and support of those who believe in me, I hope to rebuild my life and prove that I can be a productive member of society." I just puked in my mouth a little bit.
I mean, still.
You're grieving for you because you got caught. Because I guarantee you, if you hadn't gotten caught and pulled this off, first of all, Bruno wouldn't have been with you because you weren't that kind of gal for him. But you would have just fucking continued. This is how it starts. The role of the manipulating and
she would have blown through whatever inheritance she
oh,
had.
fuck yeah.
Living
a spoiled
high on
brat.
the hog.
And it would have been, then she would have had to fuck somebody else over.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, I got away with it now. Who else am I going to murder about it? I really do feel that way. Just because it was just such a blatantly stupid crime.
Yeah.
Over teenage angst.
Yeah. She could have been the next Robin Rowe. Starting life insurance.
That's exactly who I was thinking of making all those statements.
Who doesn't get life insurance policies on their friends? Y'all don't do that?
What? We're besties. If I ever ask you for a life insurance, be like,
I'm moving away.
Are we gonna go out fishing to cabin soon or?
Let's go to that rock ledge that has such a pretty view, Steph.
No. In July, Johnson claimed she was raped while she was in custody at the Blaine County Jail in 2004. She was 17, emotionally and psychologically manipulated, and then raped in the Haley jail by a 30-something Idaho State prison inmate who was working as a jail trustee on a work release program. What's a jail trustee?
Exactly. What is a jail trustee? I'm like, why are you in the women's area?
They are low-risk prison inmates brought in to work at local jails. Trustees have access to jail inmates, and it varies from county to county, but one-on-one access is not uncommon. So these are like the people that are close to getting out or
like nonviolent offenders and stuff.
Right. Like you get like special fun jobs like being a janitor.
Right.
A la Creech. Don't know how that's a trustee kind of a job.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyway.
The guards liked him.
In 2006, Judge Wood said, "Come here, Attorney Bob.
Uh-oh.
We gotta have a little talk. The judge told Bob he overcharged the county by $42,000 in his representation of Johnson.
That's not a small amount.
Bob has just weeks to pay back the overpayment. Come here. Prosecutor Thomas said Attorney Bob charged $130 per hour instead of the $65 per hour specified in the public defender contract. And there's an additional $10,000 to $20,000 on top of that he will have to refund based on the fact he billed us for the work performed by one of his associates.
Damn.
Bob
Doubled it? Bro, don't be suspicious.
Bob defends himself. He said, quote, "In my reading of the contract, I got an additional $65 an hour after January 1st. All of my behavior has been completely above board. If anybody contested any of this, the time to raise their concerns were in January of 2005. Sir, you were in the middle of a murder trial. Nobody's looking at your invoices.
Yeah.
Thomas didn't care. Like,
People had some other things going on at the time.
Well, Attorney Bob.
This Bob character. No blood, no guilt. No invoices, no fraud.
Attorney Bob resigned from the Oregon State Bar in September of 2004 while facing disciplinary measures. According to state bar records, Bob was accused of, quote, multiple violations of the disciplinary rules involving multiple clients' matters that included illegal or excessive fees, dishonesty, deceit, or misrepresentation, including conversion of client funds and failing to deposit and maintain client funds in trust.
Oh, shit.
They got you, Bob.
They got you in Oregon. You were just still able to practice in Idaho. Wow.
Bob had 42 complaints in his file in Oregon. One resulted in admonishment.
Hell yeah.
One in a public reprimand, and 11 were consolidated, leading to Bob's resignation.
That was just too much to fight for at that point.
He's like, fuck it, I'm done. I got this big murder case over here. I'm going to overcharge for it, of course.
Yeah, double.
The Idaho State Bar gave Bob a public remand in 2001 for several violations of the Idaho Rules of Professional Conduct. How did he get the defense? Anyway.
Very shady. It's like Better Call Saul.
No shit. In April, Blaine County Sheriff Fleming and Prosecutor Thomas said there is no evidence Johnson was sexually assaulted while an inmate at the Blaine County Jail. Johnson told several inmates she was having sex with a male inmate and that she was bribing the jail staff to continue the relationship. Johnson said the other inmate was visiting her cell by climbing through an air duct. You've been watching too many movies, ma'am.
What in the hell is going on here?
Investigators said that was not possible.
They're like, yeah, it doesn't work like that here.
No. So she made up this whole story. That guy probably got questioned.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
What an interesting character we have.
I think she's probably flirting with him because she obviously is needing the male attention. And maybe he was nice to her at first, but then he's like, Aren't you that chick that killed her parents?
Yeah. We're not engaged right now or anything, right?
Hard pass. And I'm about ready to get out of jail because
Yeah.
I'm a trustee. So go fuck yourself. She just made it all up.
This gal.
In May, we are in court again because Johnson is fighting over insurance benefits with her brother, Matt. He received, it was a significant,
Sure.
2005. He received half of the $550,000 benefit already, but he wants the rest. Johnson is disqualified to receive it under the Idaho Slayers Act.
Yeah. You can't be collecting on that if you killed him.
No, but I didn't even know that was an
Oh,
act.
really?
No. The Idaho Slayers Act prevents anyone found to have been involved in a murder from profiting by receiving property or other benefits. I thought that was like a federal law for some, I don't know. I thought it was a federal law. I know
I
that
would
you cannot,
hope it is, but
but that the Idaho Slayer
that
Act,
we've got to have a separate thing for it. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
the name was kind of interesting.
Slayers Act.
5th District Judge LG ruled he won't make that decision until Johnson's murder conviction has been settled. So he's like, we know we're going to have a ton of appeals on this. I'm not giving that money to anybody right
Just
now.
hold it so we
Just
don't have to go
hang on.
backwards.
The $275,000 was deposited by the court into certificates of deposit where it continues earning interest. So they didn't just,
Yeah.
okay, we're just going to put it here, let it collect some interest.
And then figure it out. Yeah.
In July, Judge Wood said that even though attorney Bob and Rader missed the deadline to appeal, Johnson will be allowed to submit her appeal to the Idaho Supreme Court. Dropping the
Bob
ball.
was a little bit low on funds for reasons that we know.
No, he was not. The judge said there's plenty of evidence that Johnson had asked her attorneys to appeal, and they assured her they were going to do so. And then they went on vacation.
Heading to Reno.
Fucking love that so much. Taking those kids circus. Here's $40. Don't call
bother
us.
me.
Yeah. In 2008, attorney Bob is out of the picture.
Bye, Bob.
The Idaho State Bar suspended Bob for 2 years due to his record in Oregon. The appeal in front of the Idaho Supreme Court is because of instruction to the jury. They were instructed that they could convict her for first-degree murder or aiding and abetting a murder. Due process did not happen because Johnson was unaware of that specific crime, the aiding and abetting, and she never had the opportunity to defend herself of that charge. In May, the Supreme Court said tough shit. The conviction was legal, and this is why. In the eyes of the law, they don't care. Aiding and abetting a murder or being found guilty of murder.
Like same level.
Same thing. They're like,
Yeah. Anyway.
yeah. Johnson's next appeal is for inadequate counsel.
Might
Bob.
have one there.
Bob.
No blood, no guilt. What?
What the
That's not an award-winning defense?
That's not catchy enough? What the fuck? In 2009, Judge Barry Wood grants new evidence discovery. New defense attorney Christopher Sims asked for all evidence related to a newly discovered fingerprint that was found on the murder weapon.
Oh.
This is fucking 6 years later.
Yeah.
These fingerprints belong to Christopher Hill. Who is Christopher?
Yeah.
He was a previous roommate of Mel Spiegel, who rented the guest house at Johnson's property. Hill had helped him move into the house, and he stated that he had also fired the gun before.
All right.
They were digging deep to find that.
And that's a reasonable explanation as well, but nope. This roommate just is going to go in and blast the shit out of these two people. Okay.
It's just finding somebody else to blame, but the obvious person. And the things that he probably had to go through. She don't give a fuck who she's dragging down. Has no. Her moral compass is fucking broke.
She wants to go to the volleyball games.
Damn it. In 2010, Santos is arrested
Oh, Santos, what the hell?
after selling a half pound of meth to an undercover detective.
Damn it, Santos.
Is that a lot?
That is a lot.
Okay. Santos had been deported after the trial in 2005, and most recently as 2010. He just become and going.
He's like, yeah, it was great to see my friends.
Stay up back. In December 2010, Johnson is back in court for civil post-conviction relief. Multiple syllables, ladies and gentlemen. Jeez. The hearing focuses on multiple allegations, including ineffective counsel and evidence tampering, and of course, the new fingerprints. She wants a new trial. In 2011, Santos pleads guilty on those drug charges. He is facing 5 years to life in prison. He ends up being sentenced to 13 years fixed with an indeterminate of 11 years. That's a long time,
Mandatory minimum sentencing.
Later in the year, in a 94-page decision, 5th District Judge Bevan denied a new murder trial for Johnson.
Not for you.
94-page decision.
He's like, let me tell you why.
Most of these decisions I see are maybe 10, 12.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They're very clean and simple. And the first page is like half of it's taken up by
Yeah, who is it?
the
Blah,
docket,
blah, blah.
right? Like, what's up? So yeah, 94 fucking pages. He's like, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. This ain't gonna work. 2014, another rejection for a new trial by the Idaho Supreme Court. This time, the Idaho Innocence Project is involved, which surprises me.
Yeah.
Because there's cases that I'm going to research that I know they were involved in. The Idaho, but just to let you know about the Idaho Innocent Project, it's a big deal. Like, they've gotten people off of death row that should have been off death row.
Yeah.
I don't think this gal's a candidate.
But do what you're going to do.
But the Idaho Innocent Project has helped free over 250 people. But in 2024, it was suspended due to funding.
Oh, shit.
I was so surprised because it's run out of Boise State.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And like, there's some big cases that they worked on.
Yeah.
And they will be coming up. Yeah. So I was surprised that it was no longer there. Lack of funding.
Right.
I believe in that. Like, I'm all like, if somebody did not murder somebody,
Yeah.
this is not, I mean,
Because there have been cases where even evidence comes up later that basically proves the other person innocent.
the DNA testing and stuff.
And they still keep them there and won't let them have a retrial because they don't have the resources and everything. So, no, I agree with it too.
A lot of it's just getting the DNA tested. It's like an act of Congress to get that done. It's expensive. It takes a long time. Like, some of these like rape and murder cases where there's definitely DNA evidence from the 80s and 90s that can be tested. And these guys are still just sitting there.
And I think it's a money thing too. So they don't want to do the testing. And they also spent all this money on trials already and appeals.
And so, no, they have to, it's pretty much some of these are stretching to where they have to pay for it themselves. And so that's what the Idaho Innocence Project is about. It's about getting that stuff tested, having the funding. It's not only, hey, judge, can we have that to test? But also, don't worry, we're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And so it's much easier to get that done that way than to try to convince the court for, I don't know, what ridiculous
However
amount.
much it is. Yeah.
I'd be curious. I'll have to look that up one time. In 2024, Santos is released from prison.
Oh, wow.
Just last year.
Wild.
So he was in prison for, what? From 2011 to 24, 13 years.
He did the full, because that was fixed, right?
Yeah. Damn. Don't sell drugs.
Yeah. Stop doing that.
I mean, you shouldn't do drugs, but if you do, just do drugs.
Just do the drugs. Don't sell them.
Don't sell them. You will end up spending half of your life in prison. Bad idea. And actually, I'm really kind of down on the drug dealers right now because of all the fentanyl.
Yeah. Stop with that.
To quote Theo, can't even do cocaine in this
The
country
hell?
anymore.
Is this America?
Can you believe you said that to the vice president? Anyways.
He's like, I know.
And currently in 2025, Johnson is 38 and residing at the Pocatello Women's Correctional Center. Not right this second, but with Lori Vallow.
Oh.
That's where Lori Vallow is supposed to be, but right now she's in Arizona.
She's doing her tour.
So, yeah, spoiled brat. She
Yeah.
has been in prison over half her life.
Overall, terrible murder job.
And to kill your parents.
Especially since she said she loved her dad and had no problem with him, but she was just...
Got to make it look good.
Yeah. Got to get them both out of the way so I can get that money and do what I want. Because my dad still probably wouldn't let me do what I want. So it's just terrible.
And I really do think I know he heard that shot, even though he was in the shower, right?
Oh, yeah. There's no not hearing it.
And to listen, when you're listening, you're like, did I just hear something? And have your daughter just fucking turn around with a fucking gun and shoot you.
And that she had a bruise for it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not blaming it on the maid or the brother or the roommate or whoever.
Whoever. The roommate's roommate. Shut the fuck up. You're a spoiled fucking brat. And by the way, you're just a fuck buddy for Santos. He did not come visit you and he wasn't like, oh, my baby.
My fiance.
No. He's like, oh, we're engaged? Oh.
News to me.
Wow. So, anyway.
Thank you, Dani. Another great story. We do have an update for everyone. Starting around May 15th, we're going to be doing an episode every other week. And this is just because we do a lot of stuff in the summer. We've got vacations planned. We still got to live. We still got both full-time jobs. So we will still be doing every other week episodes. Maybe sometimes we'll throw in a bonus episode if we can, but we appreciate all you guys for listening. Follow us on TikTok. New content out for you. Listen anywhere you can. We're there.
Follow, like, push all the buttons.
Yeah, do the buttons.
And please comment.
We love them. You guys are so funny.
Even if it's a smiley face. But we love the smart ass comments. So
yes.
Let's go, baby.
All right. Well, that's all for today. So 10-4, Rubber Ducky.
Fuck yeah. Woo!